Hey guys, welcome back to Tugo's channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a really simple Totoro embroidery design as part of a new series on my channel called Stitch Along, where I'm going to be showing you some really simple and cute embroidery designs suitable for all abilities. So this is the design that I'm going to be showing you guys how to make today. It's really cute and beginner friendly, so no matter how much experience you have in embroidery, whether you're a beginner or whether you've got quite advanced skills, you can all try it. For this design there are a few things you're going to need. So I decided to use a 4.5 inch hoop and some plain cotton inside of that, but obviously you can change the hoop size depending on how big or small you want it to be. I also used scissors, a needle, some thread, and also a water erasable fabric pen. For this project, I'm also going to be using a template, which there is a link to in the description if you would like to download that. Now, I'm also going to be using some stitches, so there is backstitch, French knot, satin stitch, and leaf stitch or fishbone stitch, depending on how you like to do your leaves, but of course I'm going to show you how to do these within the tutorial. To stitch the design, I'm going to be using a dark grey thread, which DMC number is 317, and for the leaf I'm going to be using a lightish green, which is number 703. I've also sketched out my design on my hoop prior to this using the template. Once I had all of my supplies ready and I'd threaded my needle with the dark grey thread, I started stitching. So I decided to start by doing a backstitched belly for Totoro. So what I did was I did a simple running stitch first of all, and then I brought my needle up from the back like you should always do in backstitch, and then I put it down, but instead of bringing it down in front of it, I actually brought it down behind in the loop that I'd done before, as you can see. Then I continued doing that all the way around the belly until I had finished, and then went back and did the rest of his head. Once I had finished backstitching the belly, I tied off my thread like you should always do so that it wouldn't unravel and come loose, and so that I could keep my project safe. When I'd finished doing that, I moved on to backstitching the head, the ears, and the little guy on top of Totoro's head. When I started this, I did the same as before and just made sure to connect it to the belly to make sure it all looked like one smooth, continuous line. When I started on the ears, I just did the same backstitch as before, making sure to pay close attention to which ear had a line that closed it off and which one didn't. Then I simply tied off my thread and finished the outline. With the outline finished, I can move on to the details. For Totoro's nose and eye, I decided to do a French knot in the centre, and then I backstitched around the circle. For this, you need to make sure that your stitches are small and even to create a more neat effect and make it look more like a circle instead of a square. With Totoro's eyes finished, I moved on to the little creature's eyes on top of his head. For these eyes, I did basically the same thing as with Totoro, but I just did them small. If you're struggling to get your French knots that small inside of the eye, you can just do a simple running stitch or just any kind of stitch that could fill in the area, as since it's so small people won't notice. To fill in the heart-shaped pieces inside of Totoro's belly, I decided to use a satin stitch. Obviously, if you'd like to use a different one, feel free to switch it up a bit, but I just decided to use a satin stitch. If you're going to use a satin stitch, make sure that your stitches are really close together so that you keep the shape of the heart. If you don't think you can do that, you can always backstitch the shape and then just go over that in your stitches. I actually forgot to film this bit, but for the whiskers I did just do a simple backstitch like I used for the outline, and also for the outside of the eyes. Now when I'd finished that, I moved on to the leaf stitch, which of course is the final part of this design. You can do whichever method you like to use for this, but I personally like to do a straight stitch down the centre and then cross stitches over. If you like to use a different way like the fishbone stitch or something else, feel free to do that. This is just how I create the leaves. After struggling to do a simple backstitch stem, I soaked my design in cold soapy water once I'd finished all of the stitches. As you can see, this is what it looked like at the end. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I really hope you enjoyed making this as much as I did. If you have any suggestions or things you'd like to see me stitch next, please leave them in the comments below. If not, please just like and subscribe to the video and follow us on Instagram at 2girlsjournal. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Bye!